Um, so press record.
It's done.
Okay. Hi, Dr. Taplinger. My name is Jeffrey Wolf, and yes, I had to pause to think of your name. Originally, I was supposed to see Dr. Beretich. I remember that. I know there's a Dr. Dinerstein, there's a Dr. Belden. I might have been able to remember 15 of them 2 months ago. I'm doing this for a particular reason. It's because I'm going to be hyper anxious when I see you. So now that I can speak clearly, not being completely overridden and overwhelmed by my anxiety, I think at least if I give you 3 minutes of this, you can see my ability to enunciate, my ability to be clear, my vocabulary, the command I have of language, my ability to grasp things, etc. That's the only reason I'm doing this. It'll give you a basis for comparison. Me knowing me, I suffer from severe agitation, major depressive disorder with major anxiety. It basically has impeded my functioning for 44 years. So out loud, I can read 600 words a minute. I can't read 600 words a minute now, but I can read rather quickly and digest rather quickly. What I remember, that's a whole other story. The Good Term Cafe Gallery usually features work by co-op members, but for a mail art exhibition opening it up for a larger community. Past year's entries were received from far away as South Carolina, Florida, the West Coast, the UK, and Western Ontario. Anyone of any age who is interested to submit a piece or two or three, poetry, art, mail, blah, 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 is invited to do so. Your poetry, visual art, poems inspired by sculpture, visual art about poetry, drawings inspired by poetry, poems by artists, visual art by poets, etc., etc., etc. Anything that fits on a postcard of any size. There are so many possibilities. This could be quite exciting. Make a poem, a painting, a drawing, a collage, or other creation on a postcard for an envelope, relating however loosely to the theme of poetry and art. Entries must be signed by or anonymous. Entries may be postmarked, must be postmarked March 24th, 2018. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, I can speak rather quickly. My mind works very quickly. My imagination is like a magic machine. I've was an award-winning copywriter in advertising. I won 36 awards. I've just started doing art for the last 2.5 years. I've gotten work into 3 galleries. There are 9 pieces in one gallery hanging now at River Arts in Damariscotta, 2 at Harlow Gallery in Harlowell? I don't know the name of the town. Anyway, this is the typical speech pattern for me. It's how quickly my mind works. I could formally name the primary movie stars from, let's say, 95% of the films going forward from 1932 to 2000. And maybe it falls off after that because I stopped paying as much attention. But you can take a movie like 12 Angry Men, and I can walk around the table, and there's Henry Fonda, and the people playing the roles, and George Voskovic, and Robert Webber, and Ed Binns, Jack Klugman, Jack Warden, Joseph Sweeney, Martin Balsam, E.G. Marshall, etc., etc., etc. I might not remember the other 3 without thinking about them hard. I can go back to 1932 to Norma Shearer, blah, 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 blah. Yesterday, I could not remember my wife's brother's children's names or her mother's sister's name. Not that I'm particularly close or friendly with them, but I couldn't remember them. That's normally, my brain is like a Google, but not a Google in the, I don't want to be that obnoxious. It's not a Google to the full extent of what a Google would be. But it's a mini Google in the categories that I am familiar with, that I am interested in, that I love. So film, sports, art, Uh, I can't even. Let's just leave it at that. Films, music. Um, I don't know what else would fit into those four. Be as important to me. Politics, whatever. So I think I'm trying to give you a basic grasp of what I can remember, what I formerly could remember, how my mind works, how quickly I speak or don't speak. I can slow down. I'm not having a manic episode. I can speak much more slowly if you would like, as I am doing now. I am doing this purely for informative purposes to help you with your diagnosis. My best friend in life was one of the best neurologists on the East Coast, and I suffer from severe depression. I live in here so much of the time. I've probably gone 10 of the last 44 years without going outside. I live a very isolated life. My wife is my best friend. You take her away from me, I have very few friends. I communicate very rarely with people. I don't see people very often. I don't hear from people. I don't get phone calls. 75-year-old depressed person who doesn't drive, blah, 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 blah. That's not that unusual. I suffer from about 80 phobias, which came with the depression. I have never had any issue like this before. I've had issues where I've had memory loss for 15 minutes from such severe agitation that I couldn't remember what I was trying to remember. But nothing like this, which has now gone on for 4 or 5 or 6 weeks. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you.